Okay, after having gone through the meaning, the nature and significance of principles of management, now we are coming towards the first module what we'll be handling today, that is Frederick Winslow Taylor's scientific management. Now, scientific management refers to an important stream as one of the earlier school of thoughts of management, which is referred to as the classical school. So, the classical school laid down this particular theory of management. Frederick Wilson Taylor was an American mechanical engineer who sought to improve industrial efficiency. So, he was intending to improve industrial efficiency. Now, how did he want to improve industrial efficiency? By introducing the perfect factory system. Okay, by introducing the perfect factory system of production. Factory system of production. Factory system of production. Now, Taylor's contribution must be seen in the light of efforts made by him to have a perfect factory system. Taylor's thought that by scientifically analyzing things or analyzing the work, it would be possible for us, so he would scientifically analyze each job or each work, whatever is allocated, and find out one best method. So, among the various methods which are available, he is trying to find out one best method. So, if you have to find out one best method, according to him, you have to go in depth, study it, and try to understand, try to analyze, evaluate things scientifically and come out with one best method. After that, he feels, he was of the opinion that there should be a relationship, there should be such a congenial relationship of trained and qualified management with a group, that is cooperative and innovative workforce. So, on one side you have a trained and qualified management, and on the other side you have a cooperative and an innovative workforce. When both of them combine together, you can do wonders. He was of that opinion. In the words like after that, that is a partnership relationship. Okay, a partnership should be there between the management and the workforce if you have to do wonders within your factory. Now, in the words of Taylor, scientific management means, here I have noted it down, scientific management means knowing exactly what you want your men to do and seeing that they do it in the best and the cheapest way. Okay, so scientific management here is focusing on two things. What is it? Knowing exactly what you want to do. Okay, what is the work you expect the people, whoever the workforce you have got, no? So, what do you expect your men to do? First of all, what work you want to extract and what are the jobs those people will be doing. Then you just find out the best and the cheapest way to do the job. Okay, how can that be done? By applying science. So, application of scientific methods in each and every element of management. So, when you have an application of scientific techniques, okay, can you get the work done in the best and the cheapest way. Next one, according to him, he felt that you should make use of scientific tools and materials to increase the efficiency and output. Only when the worker puts in his 100% efficiency can you achieve the desired goals or the results or the output which you are expecting in the cheapest and the best way. So, he was catering to all these needs can be, according to him, he felt that all these needs can be fulfilled when you analyze things scientifically. Now, let us just go on noting down or having a discussion on his principles. Okay, students, let us note down the principles, whatever was noted down by him. Before we can go to the principles, he was rightly called as the father of scientific management because of his introducing of the principles using scientific ways. Now coming to discussion about the principles, the first point being science, not rule of thumb. Now here, Taylor believed that to do any job or task, there should be one best method. As you have already focused here, you should be having one best method. Among the various methods available to you, you try to find out which is the best way where the cost involved is also minimum. You get the maximum returns with minimum cost. So you find out the one best method so that you can improve the efficiency. You can improve the efficiency of the workforce, whoever is with you. A manager tries to analyze what the job is, and after having a detailed analysis, he cannot give his personal judgment there. Okay? So one day you select one method and you feel that method is not working out, you leave out that method, go to another. You cannot jump to or skip to from one method to another as and when you want. So now here this particular principle, that is science not rule of thumb, was of the belief that you should be having one best method. You should be selecting one best method among the various alternatives available, and then you have to be sidelining the rule of thumb. Sidelining the rule of thumb, he wanted to eliminate that. That is hit and trial. Today you try this method, if it doesn't work out, then go to the next method. No. So he wanted to reduce all those things. Here, if you want to reduce these things, you have to look into the cost and effect. It's cause and effect. Cause and effect relationship. When you see the cause and effect relationship, you try to find out the causes, the reasons. You try to find out the reasons as to why the situation, as per the present situation, what are the causes? How can you try to rectify those causes? What are the reasons? Why are we lagging behind? How can we improve it? So try to find out the causes, find remedies to it, and see what are the effect. When you are going to introduce that particular principle, what would be the effect of it on the workforce or the workplace. Now ultimately, after having looked into the efficiency fact, the best method fact, try to eliminate the rule of thumb method, try to find the cause and the effect, ultimately you aim at what the results, the results you are expecting. What are the results you are expecting? First one would be increased efficiency. Increased efficiency. Obviously, when you have already gone through, analyzed, found out the best method, workers are going to give in or put in their 100% because they are satisfied. They are totally satisfied. They are working out with the job whichever they are expertised in. Next one being specialization. This leads to specialization. The job or the task, whatever they have been allocated, the component what they have been allocated, they are specialized in that particular field. So they will be putting in their 100% and your results would also be 100%. Next, it saves a lot of human efforts. Where if a person doesn't know the job and you are trying to make him do the job, you will be unnecessarily wasting his energy as well as your energy. Your energy by giving instructions and directions, and his energy, he doesn't know the job, so first time he might fail in doing the job, second time and third time his energy level also is coming down. So this can be saved by having our science but no rule of thumb. Next one would be saves time and technology. Saves time and technology. Lot of your time which you unnecessary would be wasting telling the person how to do your work, you have to go this way, that way, interfering everywhere. So your time also will be saved, plus the technology, the latest technology, you're using scientific methods, so the technology what you're using also is updated, not the outdated one where everything is manual. So you have introduced scientific tools and equipments in your workplace, so everything goes on smoothly. When everything goes on smoothly, there are chances of having 100% efficiency and reaching your target by finding out the best method and the best results. Second one being, now here he also encouraged thinking before doing. I'll just note it down here. It was thinking before doing. He focused on this. Whenever you want to do a job, he encouraged this particular concept, that is, you always think in advance before you can actually do a work or start a job. Well before, you just start planning out as to how you will be going on with doing that job. Only when you are thorough and you know what your destination is, what your target is, can you go on smoothly. Otherwise, it's always going to be a problem. See, let us take a real life situation. If a student wants to move on from one place, from your college, if he wants to go to a particular office, he doesn't know the way, he has not asked anyone, and he directly starts from college to go to that particular office. He's totally blank, he'll be wasting so much of time. First of all, he doesn't know where his destination is, what is the mode of transport he's going to take, so totally ignorant of everything. Then it is going to create lots of problems for him. But well before he can start from college, if he takes the guidance or assistance of his lecturers or his students or his friends and ask them as to where the exact destination is, how far is it from college, what is the best way I can go and reach there, all those things, whether if he thinks in advance, it becomes easier for him, right? Okay, so this finishes off with the first principle, that is science not rule of thumb. Coming to the second one, harmony not discord. Harmony not discord. Now what is harmony? According to F.W. Taylor, he emphasized on organizational harmony. Harmony is having a peaceful environment. Between whom? Between the management and the workers. Only when there is a peaceful environment in the workplace can they be satisfied, can they be happy. So both, that is, the management should be happy as well as the workers should be happy. Only when they have such a congenial atmosphere within the workplace can they put in their 100%, right? Okay, so here emphasis was given that each other, that's the management as well as the workers, should try to understand each other. They should know that they cannot survive without each other. Both are needed for fulfilling each other's need. Management should take the assistance of the workers. Workers also should be taking the assistance of the management. They should have have a change in their mental thinking, the mental revolution. Have a change in the mental thinking. That is, they should be knowing that if they have to survive in an organization or in a workplace for a long period of time, both should be going in understanding with each other. Okay, like the management should give importance to the workers also. If they have to take certain decisions, sometimes when decisions cannot be taken by the management, they should take the help of the workers too. At that time, the worker feels the sense of belongingness. He feels that he is a part of the organization, and he feels like someone is appreciating him for everything. Then he feels like working, putting in his 100% efficiency. Okay, so same way, if he is facing some problem, if a worker is facing some problem, maybe his poor health or poor physical conditions in the workplace, he should be in a position to tell it out. Tell his problems to whom? He has to tell it to the management. The management should give time for listening to the problems or grievances of the workers. Only then you can create a good atmosphere within your workplace. Here, ultimately we aim at what? After having harmony, not discord point we have been discussing now, and we tell that you should be moving in harmony or have a peaceful atmosphere within your organization or within your workplace. Ultimately your aim is what? To have profit maximization, right? So here you will be having profit maximization. When you are having profit maximization, who is going to be benefited? The management will be benefited, yes. Even the workers will be benefited, because it should be seen to it that a part of the profit also shared with the workers, maybe in form of incentive or the form of bonus or a hike in their salary, whatever it is. So in any form it is, they should be satisfied, they should be feeling happy in the place wherever they are working. So this is another point to be focused on, that's profit maximization will ultimately result when you are having a harmonious relationship or an atmosphere within your organization. Now Taylor referred to, it's a saying, it goes on, prosperity for the employer cannot exist for a long time unless it is accompanied by the prosperity of the employee. So if an employer has to prosper or has to rise up, it should be accompanied by what? By the prosperity of the worker too. So only when the worker feels that even he is being benefited in the organization, will he put in his 100%. If he is not benefited, then he'll be reluctant to work, he'll be showing his discontentment. So if this has to be avoided, when the management prospers, simultaneously it should be accompanied by prosperity of the workers. Okay, so this we were focusing on the second point, that is harmony, not discord. Third point being cooperation, not individualism. Third point, cooperation, not individualism. Now, in this principle, he refers to focus on the fact that there should be cooperation between the employer and the employee, the management and the employee or the worker. There should be cooperation. He should be the worker, when he is working in that particular workplace, he should be giving his wholehearted efforts with willingness, not by force. No one should be forced to work. If it is by force, it's not going to survive or run for a long period of time. So when a person is giving his willful service, then he is contented. It means that he is contented with the working environment. So a relationship, that is the cooperation between the management and worker, should be such that the worker is willfully working for that particular organization. Next one, if you just go to checkpoint, it's just an extension of the previous principle, that's harmony not discord. It's just an extension. So in this harmony not discord principle, we have already seen that both the management and the workers should be working in cooperation with each other, in understanding with each other. Only when one person, if one person wants to prosper there, he should look into the needs of another person too. Okay. So next, both, that is the management and the worker, should realize their needs. They should realize their needs. Both the management and the worker should be realizing that they should have a sense of belongingness, and they should feel that I am wanted here. Okay. You should be feeling that my existence or my presence or my importance is wanted here. He should be feeling important. If he is just sidelined, then it will lead to discontentment. He will not be willing to work in that particular atmosphere. Next, that feeling of competition should be replaced by cooperation. Competition replaced by cooperation. Now what happens when you have a competition between the manager and the worker? Each one wants to pull another person down. If each one is trying to pull another person down, what happens? Obviously it's going to be failure and not success. So here we see to it that that concept of having competition with each other should be replaced by what? By cooperation. Management tries to fulfill the needs of the worker. Worker in return puts his 100% efficiency, and both ultimately strive at achieving whose goals? Organization goals. Okay. Moving on to the fourth point under the principles, it states that development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. So this principle emphasized on having the greatest efficiency and prosperity, developing. Each person should be developed so that they given their 100% efficiency, and also they get their part or their share in the prosperity of the firm or the organization. So here he was of the thought that efficient employee produces more and also earns more. So when he is giving his 100%, obviously the targets are reached and the company is going to go on profits. So when there are profits, in return even he too will be benefited. There will be a hike in his salary, or he will be given something in return as an incentive. So he focused on efficient employee produces more and also earns more. Now when you have reached the efficiency and the prosperity level at a high point, you have to appoint people. Whomever you're appointing, when the appointment is done, it is scientifically done. That is, he should be having the knowledge, the person who has the technique, maybe the technical knowledge as to how to operate that particular machinery. Okay, so only when he has got the knowledge of it, so such people you try to appoint them scientifically in accordance to what? In accordance to their capabilities. How much is their capacity? Next, what is their ability and abilities and skills? So what are their capabilities, what are their abilities, and what are their skills? So capacity, how much can he do? What is the job he can do? To what heights can he take up the work? When you are talking of ability, is he able to do? Has he got that character that he has the ability that he can take the work forward? Can he work on it? Skill. When you are talking of skill, he should be having the knowledge or the technical knowledge as to how to operate on the particular tool or an equipment or a machinery. So all these should be seen scientifically when you are making appointment or you are appointing a person. Next, at some levels he has to be trained. At every level, when you are upgrading him to a higher post or so, or if you are shifting him to another field, then he has to be given training. Why do you train him? So that you get one best method. By getting one best method, you are sure to reach your targets to 100% level. Whatever you are striving at, or why are you all struggling as managers and as workers? Why are you ultimately struggling? Your ultimate struggle is to achieve your organizational goals. So having gone through all the 4 principles of scientific management, it is clear that Taylor was an ardent supporter of the use of scientific method of production in business. After having gone through the principles of scientific management, it's the right time to take up the techniques of scientific management. Now, techniques here are specified based on various experiments conducted by him during his career. This is relating here, him relates to F.W. Taylor. So, techniques are specified or it's laid down based on the experiments conducted by Taylor during his career, on the basis of the things what he has collected, information whatever he has collected during his throughout his career. After having a survey done, experiment done, he came out with the first technique, that is functional foremanship. Now here a foreman represents the managerial figure who is in contact with the worker on a day-to-day basis. So whenever a worker has any problem, he approaches the foreman and not to the top level. Okay. So here under this concept, the lowest level of the shop floor has to come and tell things to the foreman whichever they are responsible for. According to him, he divided, under this particular technique, he divided the factory manager, or the factory is divided into 2 departments. The first one, the planning department, and the second one being the production department. Now these 2 departments are separated. Why? So that the planning people will not have the burden of looking into the production part, or the production people will not be having the problem of looking into the planning part. It's divided into 2 separate sections, first part being the planning and second part being the production. Now after having 2 departments, each of the department, that's totally there are 8 functional foremen given, but under each of the sections, that is under planning you have got 4 foremen, and under the production you have got the remaining 4. Now let us go into looking out for each of the foremen. What are they entrusted with? Each department cannot have the stress of another department, right? So that's why once they are classified, they can only concentrate on their part. They are stress relieved of the other responsibilities. So here the functional experts, what do? They guide these people, the functional heads. They'll be guiding, they'll be instructing, and they'll be supervising. Whom? The workers. Okay. So when each one is in charge of one of the sections, it becomes more simpler for them. They can concentrate only on their part of work. So it is divided into there are 8. It's divided into 8 functional foremen. Now their duty is to guide whom? Guide the workers as to how they have to do that particular task or job. Next, they have to instruct, give instructions. What work has to be done after what job. Now whenever you are going to purchase a new mobile phone, it's just a real life situation you're talking of. When you are purchasing a new mobile phone, as soon as you see the mobile phone which is of the latest technology, can you operate it? No. You require a manual or an instruction book. Once you have gone through the instructions, then you know how to handle it. Same way here, once a job is given to a worker, he cannot immediately start unless he's got the guidelines or the instructions from the foreman. Once they have given guidelines and the instructions, next they have to supervise. Supervision is very important. Once work is just given, okay, my worker, he'll be doing the job, I need not bother. No, that cannot go on. Once you have given the job, later on you have to come and supervise whether the job is, or the given task is done within the stipulated time, whether the standard what you have set for, whether the task is achieved or not. So these 3 jobs will be to be looked after by the functional foreman. Now let's go one after the other. The first one being instruction card clerk. Now, this particular instruction card clerk is responsible for giving instructions. He is responsible for giving instructions. That is how you are supposed to do the job. You just give general instructions as to how you are supposed to complete the job or the task whichever is allotted to you. Once the general instructions are given that what is your work and what you are supposed to do, it becomes easier for the worker to go on doing the work what is given to him. Okay? So that's the job of the instruction card clerk, to give instructions. Now, what is the work of route clerk? What do you mean by route? The path, the way, what is the flow of job it's going to go on. He is responsible for telling you the steps of the job. Steps of job. He tells you how the work has to be done, what has to be done after what. So he's just laying the, like it may be a stone what you're laying from one place to another. How are you going to lay down the stones? So he's just telling you how the work will go on. So he's showing you the directions of the job. Here, the time and the cost clerk. Time clerk is in charge. Time and the cost clerk will have to, first part, time. He has to set up a start time and an end time. You're like at what time you have to start a job. If that is not told to a person, he can start leisurely at any time he wants. So there's a specific time. Like if you are supposed to come inside the factory place at 9 o'clock and your work has to begin at 9, so he has to check out whether it has begun. It has begun at the same time, whether it's begun at 9 o'clock. So once it's begun at 9, then you set up a finishing time. So the task has to be completed within that particular time. Maybe it is 1 hour, it's 2 hours, whatever may be the time, but the start and the finish time has to be set, and this particular person is in charge of it. After he's seen the time, he has also to see the cost involved. He has to take into account the cost involved in each of the tasks or each of the component of the work what is, so that he can have a total analysis of the cost whatever is incurred. Next, we have the disciplinarian. Now, what does disciplinarian to do? The word as such specifies. He has to see whether all the jobs are done in an orderly and systematic manner. Because if he is not seeing to the order, there may be chances of confusion. So he has to see that whether all the things are done orderly and it's done systematically. So that has to be looked into by the disciplinarian. Next, to the other 4 under the production in charge, the first one being speed boss. So he is in charge to see that all the jobs are done on time. So they set up a time that you have to do the job. For example, it may be it has to be done within 15 minutes. So if the time is allotted to you or stipulated to you, you are supposed to finish the job in 15 minutes. So he has to just check on the speed whether the work is done at that particular time or no. Next, the gang boss. Gang boss is in charge of assembling. That is, he has to arrange for all the machines and the tools and the resources in accordance to how the work is going to go on, so that delay would be avoided in execution of the job. So if you want to avoid any of confusions or delays, you have to keep all the materials needed, all the tools needed, all the equipments needed. It has to be kept in such a way, all the resources needed has to be kept in such a way that there is a smooth flow of work without any hindrances or any shortcomings in the movement. Okay, so he has to check about the assembling of the materials. The repair boss. Repair boss is a person who is in charge of looking into the upkeeping of the machine. That is, he has to see to the servicing. It may be the servicing or maybe the repairing of it. If something is gone, the machine is not working. Now, he cannot wait till the machine is spoiled and he is going to waste time for one day to see that the machine is getting repaired. No. When he knows that some fault is there in the machine, he should be vigilant enough that he can make immediate replacement. either get it repaired or get it replaced, because if it's not going to take instant action, then there will be delay in the job, right? So this person is in charge to see to the maintenance, the repairing and the replacement of faulty machines or tools or equipments. The last one, that is inspector. He has to check the quality of the job or quality of the work that has been done. If quality is not checked off, then there might be, not 100%, there might be complaints that the products are of sub quality. So each time a product is ready, he has to check on the quality of the product. So here we can say the tailor focused or emphasized that there should be functional foremen who will be looking into the area whichever they are allotted with. Okay, I hope the concept is clear.